Hello to my fellow peace seekers. Welcome to this casual channel where we lean into joy and highlight the value that life has to show us. What are you manifesting this week? How are you feeling about your goals? What are your goals? Please let me know as I kind of share mine with yours and my 5th week update as to what I want to manifest in a year. If you don't know, my name is Ruth Seneca. I have this casual channel where I talk about things I'm manifesting, the joy that life gives me, and anything related to mindfulness. So, 5 weeks ago, I told myself, I'm going to give you a year to see what you can manifest, see if we can get our desires. So, I made a list of desires that I would want to see show up in a year. One of those, well, let me list a couple of them. A couple of those desires are tied to my 3 YouTube channels. I have 3 YouTube channels, which I believe are going to be kind of my tie to some stability. So I'm really focused, much like other people, much like probably everyone, I'm focused on really harboring physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual stability. And I think YouTube is a great outlet for pretty much practicing all of those. So, like I mentioned, I have 3 YouTube channels. This one, mindfulness, woo-woo things, vlog things. That I want to get to 5,000 subscribers. I'll do an update as to where all of my subscribers are at and how I'm feeling about all channels. And then I have a book channel, which I want to get to 5,000 subscribers as well. And then I have a main channel that's just pop culture. I just reviewed the new season of Ginny and Georgia. If you're interested, check it out. And then if you want to help me reach my goals, only if you're interested in like pop culture things, check that out as well. I'm not really focused on that one getting 5,000 subscribers just because I really more so see a potential for growth on my more niche channels, which is this one and my book channel. Anyway, that's just some of my desires. Some other of my desires are and I really, last week, I learned about the importance of speaking in I am versus I wish. Speaking in, this, I am capable of achieving this. This can happen for me. This will happen for me. But even I wills is kind of hard because it's like, the more you say I will, the more you're really pushing things off into the future, and it's like the future is not guaranteed. But I digress. I don't really know how to expand on that one. But basically, I feel like a lot of the things that I talked about in relation to desires, and the things that I consistently do talk about in relation to desires, is very focused on, I'd like to achieve this. I don't know if I can. That would be cool if one day I could host a podcast, but it's like, you could say that forever. You could say that for years. But the way to achieve it is to recognize your capabilities of doing those things and then gaining the mental, emotional, physical energy that matches the frequency of the person that you're going to be when those do manifest. So I realized that last week of like, I say I would like this, but I know I can do it, and I'm kind of focused on doing it. So why don't I just match my vocabulary to those things that I'm listing? Anyway, so one day, it doesn't have to be within a year. I do want to move into a more modern apartment. I don't hate my apartment, but I just kind of feel like one day I will grow out of the place that we currently are living at. I don't know. I honestly kind of regret a little bit putting that on my things that I want to manifest in a year, because like I do like the place that we're living, and I do have issues with stability, physical stability, and I would kind of like to live there for a little bit longer. We'll see how that manifests. I don't know. Other things that I do want to manifest, other things that I feel I'm capable of doing, but I just want to put it out into the world to see what energy will follow, is I would like to host a successful podcast. I know I have the capability to do so. I have done independent podcast things before. I've had 3 different little independent projects, but I want it to be successful in terms of, I want to be behind a podcast company. It's so easy to, I feel like the difference between wishful thinking and manifesting is just like, wishful thinking would be, I would love to have a podcast one day that I could do blah 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 in, but that's like a nice thought that like will never happen. Versus manifesting is, I'm capable of doing this thing. Let me throw this out into the world and kind of put mental energy into seeing how maybe it could it could show up, and then the resources will eventually show up, and I'll be prepared. My version of successful is just I would like a podcast company to be behind. I don't want to have a independent specific podcast where only friends and family listen to it and occasionally like a random listener will as well. Like that to me is not my version of successful. My version of successful a couple years ago would have just been like I have the courage to put out an episode and like one person would listen to it. But we are trying to level up. Okay, I believe that I have it in me to interview a prominent author. With my book channel, I really do see the growth in it, in the way that even though I have only a few subscribers now, I feel like I do see potential of me growing that audience and being able to have an opportunity to interview somebody who I do admire and respect, who has recently put out a book. We'll see. There are a bunch of things that I would like to manifest, but we'll move on to kind of my progress update, my channel updates. So, like I mentioned, I want 5,000 subscribers on this channel, my book channel. This is where I'm currently at. So, for this channel, I have 713 subscribers. Last week, I can't remember what I had, but it's gone up only by a tiny bit, which is fine because honestly, growth is growth, and I am really grateful for growth. And some weeks it'll be really slow, and some weeks, like the week that I had like that large growth, it was like 200 subscribers, and you never know when that's going to happen. I could not have predicted that was going to happen, so we'll see. My book channel has grown to 374 subscribers, which I'm so incredibly happy about. I was gonna like kind of degrade what I just said, but I was gonna say I know it's a little amount. Honestly, I'm grateful for that as well. Somebody mentioned on a TikTok, like, I know people look at 250 views, 1,000 views, 500 views as small, but recognize that 250 views, that's a theater. That's like your local theater being sold out. A stadium is like, what did they say, like 10,000 to 15,000, and we view like 10,000 and 15,000 views as like small, but they actually do translate to real people for the most part. So I do want to stop kind of myself in my tracks of being like, well, it's only this amount. 300 people decided, more or less, decided to keep up with the things I'd like to post, and that's great. And then for my main channel, I have 1,380 still. Not 80 like flat. It will go up 81, 82, 88, whatever. I don't keep track of the individual numbers because that's not what YouTube shows me unless I go to the Studio app, which I don't feel like looking at, but it does fluctuate. It's not just always going to be at 80. It just does. I don't see the specific numbers. Anyway, so physically, emotionally, and mentally, because that is what I want to be stable in. Mentally, I feel like a different person. Like, I feel like I've truly stepped into this confidence of, because I know that I'm capable of achieving the things that I want. It's changed my actions, it's changed my mood, it's changed my self-belief even. Because I feel like beforehand, even at the start of this challenge of me being like, let's see if I can do this, it was literally me being like, oh, let's see, it might be embarrassing if I don't, but like, let me just, I don't know, it was just me throwing it out there, me having the courage to throw it out there. But now that I have the courage to throw it out there, I'm like, okay, let's actually see like how we can maximize our time to reaching these things. Whereas before I was like, oh, let's just dare to try, dare to even attempt to try. So mentally, I feel like I'm, also within the place I live in, I'm not a very extroverted person at all. Wow, at all. But that really changed my self belief, has changed my energy, because I want to be a more open person. I want to be a little bit more of a more sociable person and have better energy, because one of my limiting beliefs was just that, like, I don't connect with people that are around me because I live in the Midwest, in the most boring state. And I will talk about that all the time, but it's kind of like shaping the people around me as well, because it's making, I feel like my energy being like, oh, I live in a boring Midwest state where I don't like connect with people, is like turning people off, probably. But I've had like random moments in public where I'll be like, "Hey, I'll give a compliment to a stranger, or I'll ask a cashier, like, hey, how's your shift going?" I'll just have moments where I want to connect with people, and most of the time, like 8 out of 10 times, people are wanting to connect with other people. They're just kind of on the automatic mode of like, let's get through the day, let's do what we have to do, like let's smile at strangers randomly just to like, but to break that mold and be like, hey, how's blah blah blah, it like really reminds me of humanity. So I feel like my energy shift and even that is like, so it's helping me feel better about myself and feel better about the place where I live. Whereas before I was like, this silly little hillbilly-ish state that I'm not even happy to be in. It's like I am happy to be here and I feel incredibly safe here. And I like connecting with people. I do, even though I'm introverted. Okay. Um, mentally, okay. Physically, I have this syndrome. It's a hormonal imbalance called PCOS, which when you are diagnosed with something that affects your life and affects, like the way that you need to eat, the exercise you need to do, um, it can be kind of like I've accepted it and I've changed my life because of it, but sometimes it can be difficult to know what's the best way for me to feel good about this and myself. So in with trial and error, I feel like I'm actually on the right track because I've been doing my 10,000 steps. I have been motivated to want to be as healthy as I can, whereas I was not encouraged at all these past couple of months because I kind of felt like, what's the point if I'm like changing my life and changing my diet if I'm not even gonna look different? What's the point? But sometimes it can just take months, and not only can just take months, but you just want to do what you can to be as healthy as you can for yourself. For if I even like want future children in the future, for future children, just for like just for maximizing health in general. So I'm very happy about that. Physically, emotionally, financially, I've only made $100 on the tubes. But I see myself potentially monetizing on other spaces, and we'll see where that goes. Physically, emotionally, emotionally, and then I guess we'll end up on spiritually. Uh, I have not gone to church in a while. In a while, but I feel incredibly spiritually attached to. If you feel comfortable, I very much believe in God and put my faith in God, but the God that I was raised thinking of versus the God that I feel connected to now looks different. And the spirituality that I have now, the spiritual practices I do now are very different. Like I'm much more of a woo-woo person. Um, but some things that have helped me out are saying affirmations to help me feel more stable mentally, emotionally, physically, are oh my god, utilizing this app called Insight Timer. Insight Timer is this app where it gets together all of this content that's focused on mindfulness skills, and you have meditations you can do, affirmations you can do, soundscapes, whatever you want pretty much is there for you. And I just I feel so much better than I have in like a while because of the things that I've found. And yeah, spiritually, I'm doing really good. Here are some affirmations. I'm going to try to end off my videos doing affirmations just because I want to end off on like a good note, similar to therapy. Therapy typically you end off on like something good to kind of make you feel uplifted, even though some sessions can be hard. Just me? I don't know. Maybe just me. So, a mantra that I heard was I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough, which has got me through so many moments you have no idea. I am enough, I do enough, I have enough. I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough. Something else that I think is very crucial to the fact that like rest and restoration should be everybody's top priority. It's just that your body deserves to rest. Your body deserves to rest. You deserve restoration. Your body deserves to rest. Those are honestly just my favorite. I was gonna force maybe a couple more, but I really do think I am enough, I do enough, and I have enough is the perfect one to end off on. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have an amazing morning, afternoon, or night.